This is the origin of Surah Quraysh.
Your words are poison! Leave this place or face the consequences! We will not tolerate this insult to our traditions!
That dancing is just the doorway into a much older story. The story of the Prophet, peace be with him, own great-grandfather, Hashim.
I am the son of Abdu Manaf. My family cares for the house of Allah, and no one dares touch our caravan.
This is the origin of Surah Quraysh, one of the most recited and least understood surahs in the Quran. In Islamic schools, this surah usually gets memorized in a hurry, with no one stopping to explain why it was actually revealed. Today, we are going to change that. The Quraysh took too much pride in their own wealth, and that's exactly why Allah chose to remind them who had truly given them all of it. What's the real story behind the revelation of Surah Quraysh, and who was Amir al-Ula, the man who came to be known as a Hashim? According to scholars, Surah Quraysh was revealed in Makkah at the time when the Quraysh leaders were using their own fortune to oppose the Prophet, peace be with the Prophet Muhammad. But to understand that opposition, we need to go back decades earlier, to a time when Makkah lived a completely different reality. This part of the story belongs to the time of Hashim, the Prophet, peace be with him, great-grandfather. Makkah was small, isolated, surrounded by desert, and even with a few inhabitants, hunger punished everyone who lived there. Back then, Ibrahim's, peace be with him, teaching about worship one God had already been lost among the people. Makkah had become a hub of idolatry. Around 360 idols stood scattered inside and around the Kaaba.
O Hubal, carry our plea to whoever can hear us. The children are dying of hunger.
Hunger was so severe that even in people's dreams, all that existed was food.
I dreamed we had enough to eat until we were full, and then drank cold water without fear of running out.
People and animals kept dying little by little, and it was into this desperate scene that a hope with a name walked in.
It's Hashim! The chief of the Kaaba is coming back!
Hashim had traveled far to bring food to these people. He broke the bread with his own hands and handed it to anyone who was hungry. But one of help couldn't fix a problem that big. Someone needed to find a lasting solution.
Hashim, we'll get through the next few days. But you need to find a permanent way to stop this hunger from coming back.
Hashim spent days seeking advice from Makkah's elders, trying to find a way out.
You are the elders of this city. Help me find a path. I can't bear to watch my people suffer like this anymore.
No one had an answer. Makkah was nothing but sand, no crops, no gold, no gemstones, just a handful of starving people trying to survive the desert. It was while watching all of this that Hashim noticed something no one had seen before. Makkah's greatest strength wasn't buried underground, it was the Kaaba itself.
Why didn't I think of this before? This is our real strength.
That's how Makkah's first great trade route was born. Winter caravans to Yemen, summer caravans to Syria.
Let's open trade. Winter in Yemen, summer in Syria.
The proposal frightened everyone. No one had the nerve to cross the desert carrying goods.
This is madness. The moment it gets dark, bandits will rob us and kill us along the way.
Hashim listened calmly and answered with quiet certainty. They were the guardians of the sacred house, and no one would dare attack them.
He's right. We are the Quraysh. No one will raise a hand against us.
Back then, every tribe in the region kept its own idol inside the Kaaba and returned to Makkah at least once a year to worship it. That created a forced kind of respect. No tribe wanted to risk seeing its idol thrown out of the temple for attacking the Quraysh. With that protection in place, the journey was planned and the first caravan set out.
It's a long road, my son, but I'll be back soon. Just give me your blessing.
If a rider ever crosses their path, one line was enough to guarantee safe passage.
Don't you know? We are the guardians of the sacred house.
And so, year after year, winter and summer, the Quraysh keeps traveling without fear, protected by the Kaaba's prestige. Little by little, Makkah turned into a true trading hub. Families grew wealthy, and constant contact with other peoples brought new knowledge, including the script later used to record the Qur'an itself. Hashim died in Gaza, in Palestine, during one of those journeys, but the path he opened kept being traveled by the generations that followed. Over time, Mecca grew so much that it became a target of envy. According to the tradition preserved in Surah, an army from Yemen led by Abraha and backed by elephants marched against the city, intending to destroy the Kaaba. Have you not seen how your Lord dealt with the possessors of the elephant? Did he not bring their plan to nothing, sending against them flocks of birds, striking them with stones and baked clay, and leaving them like devoured crops? It was only later, once the Prophet, peace be with him, himself received the mission to proclaim Allah's messenger, that those same Quraysh, now wealthy and proud, used that same wealth to oppose him.
People of Banu Hashim, there's something I don't understand. If Allah wanted to choose a messenger, why not pick a wealthy Quraysh chief instead of the poorest man in our own tribe?
It was in the face of the pride that Allah revealed Surah Quraysh, a direct reminder of who had truly given them everything they owned. And this is the part I enjoy most, understanding the text word by word.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. لإلاف قريش إلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
The first thing that stands out is that throughout the whole surah, Allah doesn't speak directly to the Quraysh. He speaks about them in the third person, and in Arabic that usually signs displeasure, a kind of deliberate distancing. The second point is that this isn't about one person, but about an entire people, the whole Quraysh tribe. The first two verses say the same thing. The Quraysh grew so used to the winter and summer journeys that it became routine, comfort, and familiarity. The word used, ilaf, means exactly that, growing so accustomed to something that it becomes part of life without you even noticing, like someone who lives for work every day without a second thought. And it's no accident the idea repeats twice in a row. They grew used to it. It's a way of reinforcing just how automatic that habit had become. The particle used at the start of the phrase also carries a tone of astonishment, as if Allah were saying, "It's astonishing that you grew so used to this that you forgot who made it all possible." Notice too that the order is winter, before summer, not the other way around. That's not by chance. In winter, the days are short, the nights long, almost nothing grows. In the ground, work slows down, and the risk of robbery rises. It was the harshest season, and even then Allah kept them protected, provided for safe. That the third verse brings, the natural response. They should worship the Lord of the house, the same God in whose name they protected themselves on the road.
Don't you know? We are the guardians of the sacred house.
If that name was enough to keep bandits away in the middle of the desert, why wasn't it enough to lead them to worship the true owner of the house? The particle used just before that verse carries real weight. Even with every other blessing Allah gives a human being breathing a body that works, at the very least, they should have remembered this specific protection, the one they themselves invoked on every journey. The Prophet, peace be with him, entire mission, and before him, Ibrahim, peace be with him, revolved exactly around that third verse, worshipping one Lord with no intermediaries, no detours, the servant turning straight to this Creator. Someone might ask, but which Lord if the Kaaba held 360 idols inside it? The answer comes in the fourth verse.
يَتَمَهُمْ مِنْ جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ.
There Allah introduces Himself. It is He who feeds them when they faced extreme hunger, and He who protected them when danger stalked their caravan. But in the four verses together, the message is clear. The Quraysh grew so used to the safety of their journeys that they forgot who that safety came from, and the least they owed was to worship the true owner of the house. Now, someone may think this is a 1,400-year-old history about one specific tribe. What does it have to do with my life today? The Quran wasn't revealed only for the Quraysh. It was revealed for all of humanity until the end of time. And Surah Quraysh works like a mirror. Every time Allah gives you comfort and you forgot to acknowledge it, you are walking the very same path that tribe once walked. Maybe 10 or 15 years ago you couldn't even afford the plate you eat from today. Maybe you used it to rent and now you own your home. Maybe your own education wasn't what it should have been, but your children are getting a better one than you did. Allah made your life more comfortable, and in the face of that, what He expects is for you to seek to own your Lord, His name, His messengers, His book. But in practice, what we usually do is different. Now that there is some extra money, let's upgrade the car, let's buy another place to rent out. With this extra cash, we can finally take that expensive trip we have always wanted. Just as Allah expresses astonishment at the Quraysh, maybe one day, on the day of the judgment, it will be our turn to hear that very same question. You had food, you had drink, you had a better life, you were born somewhere safe, and even then you forgot me? Look at your children, at your parents. The only real difference between you and the people dying of hunger in Gaza right now is where which of you was born. You can watch this video in peace. They can't even breathe in peace. If you have that safety today, it didn't come from anything you earned. It came purely and slowly from Allah's mercy. So it's worth it to seek to know your Lord. To read His word, life is too short to put that off. I hope this was clear and that it was worth your time.